You are listening to the Awakened Radio Network. Visit our website where you can chat with our hosts at awakenedradio.net. If you'd like to listen to us on the go, visit tunein.com. Download their free app and then look for Awakened Radio. You can take us everywhere. Tell all your friends how to listen to the Awakened Radio Network. Awakened Radio is a people-powered radio station. We are occupying the airwaves with the message of personal empowerment, encouraging our listeners to create consciously, to be aware, to be honest, and to heal those areas of our lives that are really starting to bug us. Join our host at awakenedradio.net, where you will find discussions on energy work, meditation, politics, UFOs, aliens, and everything in between. Awakenedradio.net, the people-powered information radio station. Did you know that you can host your own broadcast with the Awakened Radio Network? Join us at awakenedradio.net. Look up at the top where it says Services. Click on Be a Host. Check there for information on how to share your message with our global listening audience. You can also add Awakened Radio to Skype and contact our station manager, or email the station at awakenedradio@gmail.com. Find out how easy, fun, and awesome it is to be part of the Awakened Radio Network family.
Welcome to Evolutionary Women Radio Show with Pernilla Lila Rose, where authentic feminine power is making a difference in the world. Yes, hello and welcome everyone. This is Pernilla Lila Rose, your host at Evolutionary Women Radio, and this show is brought to you by Women Standing for Love. Women Standing for Love is another movement that I have going here, starting, moving, expanding, and really wanting us all to step into our true nature, which is love. So this show is brought to you by Women Standing for Love, and I will invite you to join either today on the show or on the website called Women Standing for Love, or on the Facebook page called Women Standing for Love. You can always go to my homepage, which is lilarose.com, and just share yourself, find out what's going on, how I am doing everything that I can to become a woman standing for love in all areas of my life, and inspiring and encouraging others to do the same. So I want to invite you to check it out and see if you are one who would also like to stand for love in your life, if you aren't already. And we'll talk more about that today. Before we start, I just want to invite you to connect. You can go to the chat room here at awakenedradio.net/live chat room, and just come in and say hello, introduce yourself. You can do it anonymously, or you can say your name. Either one is fine. I just love to have you in the chat room, and just know that let me know you're there. And if you have anything you want to share, any questions, anything at all, feel free to write it in there. Or, of course, you're always invited to call in too with any questions or comments. And that number is 334-649-7204. So, welcome today to an episode of Love. I blog every week. I send out an e-zine, and the title this week is I Am Love. And I know that might be a little bold to just speak that so bluntly. First on my blog post, then on Facebook pages and my newsletter, and now I'm just speaking it right into the air. I am love. And I'm not even blushing. I think it's time, my friends, that we start owning who we are. The truth is that I am love incarnate. You are love incarnate. You and I are incarnations, expressions, embodiments of love. That's what we're made of. That's what we are at the core. If we would only stop pretending that we're other than love. And I know that for a long, long time we have been identifying and pretending and acting out, playing the roles as if we're something else. We have been rehashing and reenacting and rerunning, playing reruns about our little expressions of our shortcomings, our problems, our issues, our struggles and sufferings and doubts and pains and lacks. All these things that we keep getting trapped in. We keep believing that that's what I am. I'm a problem. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. We have been living in that dream, in that movie, where we have been acting. We've been taking all these roles. We've all been these pretty bad actors, actually. Well, no, actually, we've been pretty good actors. We've been acting it well. We've been playing our act so well that we have convinced ourselves and others that we are our shortcomings, that we are not good enough, that we don't have what it takes, that we have to struggle and compare and compete and be in pain and lack things and just not have enough, not be enough. We have played those roles well, haven't we? And we keep doing it. Even though I know a lot of us are definitely stepping out of those roles, or we're doing everything we can. It's like we're done with that movie. We want to play in a different movie. But somehow we played these roles so well that we don't even know that they are a role, that they're just a play. It's an act. So I know it's not just easy to just step into the new role and say, I am love. But we can at least start moving in that direction. And I would like to invite us all to start taking that step today. Because in reality, in truth, love is all there is. I remember a teacher I was with many years, his name was Barry Long. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it was something like, God out of existence is truth. God in existence is love. So it's kind of, we're moving in between those two, when we sit in deep meditation, when we're in deep silence, or when we're really just resting in our being, we're resting in a place that is just presence or stillness. I'm not really sure what truth means. It may mean different things to different people. For me, when I rest in that place, I could call it consciousness, but that's also a word that you don't really know what is until you experience it. So it may not mean a whole lot. But I think presence is a word that describes it in a way that we can all relate to, more or less. When I just sit and go inside, even this moment, and it's kind of like I just lean back into myself. Instead of leaning out into the world or up into my mind, I lean just back. It's just a resting back into myself. And if you want to, you can follow me on that, right? It's like just let go of the mind if you can for a moment, and just be curious what it would be like to just either rest back or drop in a little bit. And I like to drop into my chest and belly area, so I'm really in the core. And here there is just a place of being. It's very pleasant, it's very comfortable, it's very peaceful. And this place is always here. It cannot go away. I can go away. I can go away and leave it and go into the world and get busy and get identified with certain roles and certain experiences, and maybe even start believing that I am this person that I'm pretending to be out in the world. But the truth is, I can always lean back, or I can always drop in, and bingo, here I am. The word I is always a good anchor if you don't put anything behind the word I, but just kind of rest back into I before you put anything behind it, and just be curious about this I, this thing that you call I, that we all call I. That is always here. So there are certain things that are always present, like a pillar of or a rock or something solid that's always here, and it's always accessible to us. It doesn't go away. It can't. It's not like we have to go chasing after it because it went away. It's like, hey, come back! I lost you. If any of you have gone through that phase where I got it, I lost it. I think we all go through that at some point in our life. But then you realize that it doesn't go away. But I may lose it. I may lose consciousness about it for a while because I am putting my consciousness on something else, and I put it out in the world. So let's just take this breath and follow the breath into the body as if we want to just lean back or drop in to the core of our being, and let's just pretend that it is in the middle of our body. And truth is, it's everywhere, but it's good to start by going deeply within and just start sensing into this I that I am, this I that you are. We all have the same I, and it's always available, and it's always available to you, to me, to us specifically. It's kind of just waiting there as an open flower for us to take, to smell the odor or the beauty, the fragrance, the essence of it. So it can be experienced as presence, as stillness, as being, as a void of nothingness, but it's a pleasant nothing. It's not like the dreaded gray, empty mass of nothingness. That's kind of the mind's experience of it. That's all happening in the mind. This is not in the mind. This is a different place. We have to leave the mind and the thinking behind for a while so we can just drop in. And what you might start experiencing also when you start sensing into this being that you are, the being that I am, there might be other qualities that have a way of expressing themselves in the world. And I would like to, if you haven't noticed it yet, I always like to talk about the love aspect of the essence. There's also joy and gratitude. It's kind of, it all comes together as a really yummy, nice feeling. And I just want to let you know that this is always there. It cannot go away because it is who you are. It's who I am. And as long as I am, this is here. This is available. This is present. So it's learning to turn our attention inward and start tuning in and sensing in to this presence, this beingness, this stillness, or this love, this joy. So I'm going to talk again about, that it is love, because love is definitely one of its expressions. And it may not always come as that fuzzy, warm feeling of love that we experience sometimes with each other or in certain situations, with other people, with animals, with it can be anything, in nature. Sometimes it comes with a really yummy, warm, fuzzy feeling. But it may not always be like that when you experience your own presence. It can come in a different way, but it might come as that yummy feeling. And it's wonderful when it does, because that's kind of what we're longing for, isn't it? That intimate, sweet connection, warm feeling, warm fuzzy feeling that makes us happy, makes us peaceful and content. And let's face it, we all want that. There's something inside of us that we already are, that we keep looking for on the outside. And here's the catch about that. It's because we have not connected with it on the inside with ourselves that we keep looking for it on the outside. And this is a very common thing. We all do it, or we all have done it to a certain extent, some more than others. Even though we may not do it all the time, there might still be a tendency to go and look for it on the outside. So when I catch myself looking for something on the outside, not like, physical necessities like food and water and things like that, but when it's a feeling or an experience I'm looking for that I want from the outside, I know that moment that I catch myself in that movement away from myself, I know that I have left myself. Because when I'm resting in and as myself, there is no wanting anything. There can be still wanting to enjoy things or to share things, but it's not like I need something from the outside in order to feel complete or whole. It's I am that. I simply am that, and so are you. There is no way that anybody is not that. I want to just read a little quote here that I wrote down from a teacher that I used to really love to read her books and listen to her tapes, and I get her weekly email quotes, and sometimes they're they're always wonderful. I thought this one that came the other day was so appropriate. She says, "When we enter into a space of divine love, when we allow love to live its life as us, when we allow love to be our nature, all the rules are automatically fulfilled by just loving and being love. So it's a matter of allowing the love that we are to live its life as us. You see, it's allowing. You know, I've so often talked about allowing. Well, here there's another way. We can allow the love that we are to live our life. So just take that in for a moment. Just breathe in for a moment, or just imagine for a moment that it is true that you are made of love. Your essence, the I that you mention all day long, I'm this, I'm that, if you just know that this I is love, and then rest in that for a moment, even though you may not be able to feel it, if you can just for a moment be open to the possibility that this might be true. I can also say it another way. What if it is true? What if it is true that you are love? Just imagine that for a moment. What if it's really, really true that you are love? And somehow you have been misguided, and you've been told that you are not love, and you believe that, and then you started living your life according to those beliefs, instead of just going back and resting in and as love, which is what you are. So when I say, why is it that we keep rehashing and regurgitating and playing the reruns of all these movies where we are not love, where we are lacking things, where we're not good enough? Why do we keep doing that? Just take a moment and ask yourself that question. What is it? Not as a why question where you get, but what is it in you? What is it that drives you to keep putting your attention and your awareness on the things in your life, that are lacking, that are not love? What is it that keeps wanting to give your life force to that? Is it because it's familiar? Is it because everybody else is doing it? That's probably a good one, right? You can fit right in with everybody else's misery. And I think often we do connect. When we connect with other people, many times, at least it has been like this, many times it's because we have the same problems. So we feel we can connect, right? We feel understood, we feel met. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good thing to start connecting and becoming aware of where we have been identified with. But I wouldn't suggest that we continue doing that, because when we do, we keep moving away from our core, from our essence, from our true being, which is love. So I want to invite you just to say, you can say it out loud, or you can just say it inside of yourself. And when we're going to say it, we can say it together. I just want you to notice what happens with you when you say that. So we're going to just say, I am love. I'm love. I am love. What's that like? If you want to write in the chat room, or if you want to call in, I would love to hear from you. What is that like to just say that? If you want to call in, the number is 334-649-7204. 334-649-7204. So just feel into that. You know, you say, I am love. And what does that bring up for you? Can you own it? Is it feel a little bit empowering maybe? Or is it too scary? I think there's also, I think it's this false humility, and as if saying that we are miserable, we are not good enough, we're terrible. It's as if there's something good about that. It's like then that's true humility, right? To really express that or pretend we are that. But you know, it's not true. It's not true. There's nothing humble about saying that you are not love. It's just a mistaken identity. It's just speaking a lie. And I want to encourage us today to start owning up to the fact. It's like, come out of the closet, you know, come out clean and say it the way it is, you know. Some people come out of the closet admitting that they've been alcoholics, or they're gay, or they're this, or they're that. Well, we can come out of the closet and say, I am love, and I'm not going to hide it anymore. And that's what I want to inspire you to do today, to come out of the closet and be brave. It takes some courage to do that. But I want to let you know that this radio station here, my show here every Tuesday, it's safe to do that, because I want this to be a place where we can share the truth of who we are, where we don't need to downplay ourselves or pretend that we are not love. We are love, and it's okay. And I would love, if you want to just come clean and just speak it. And what I would like to invite you to do is, if you want to call in today, or you can also share it on the forum or on my Facebook page, you can share anything in your life where you are an expression of that love, where you're doing something to express that love, where you're doing something. Maybe it's for yourself, maybe it's for your family, maybe it's for something somebody or something in the community, something in the world, something where you are actually allowing the energy of love to express itself through you and as you. Just see if anything comes up. And it's really okay to share that. It's not something we need to hide anymore. I think if more and more of us are courageous enough to start sharing with others and say, you know, I did this beautiful act of love today, and it was so amazing what happened to the people who received it, or who were the beneficiaries of this love. It changed their life, or or maybe there was just somebody was so sad, and then there suddenly was a smile on their face, or I noticed that they were deeply touched in their heart, or something like that. Or you might do it anonymously, which is just as loving. It doesn't really matter what it is, and if it's better for you to keep it anonymously, that's totally fine, as long as you know that you are letting yourself be an expression and an outlet of love, and don't downplay that. So it's the way I'm seeing it right now, it's a matter of opening up the door for this love, willingly, consciously, knowing that you're opening up the door for love so it can come out and express itself in the world. So just think, if there's anything you want to share, you can call in on 334-649-7204, and we're going to go on a short break, and I'll talk to you when we come back from the break.
Hello, I'm I'm Donna Devine, Barefoot Guru, station owner here of the Awakened Radio Network. And I want to tell you, I am Awakened Radio. You are too. Together, we are Awakened Radio. And right now, we are inviting and encouraging all of our listeners all around the world to join us in the next expansion of the Awakened Radio Network. We are wanting to upgrade our technology. We just had to cancel some live broadcasts because our PC died. And our technician advisor, Rob Ragazine, has told me that we need a server, we need a superstation computer, and some kind of backup thing. And the cost for all of this is going to be right at $5,000. And while for some of us that may sound like a lot of money, think of it this way. If each of us gives from our heart, each of us that is part of the Awakened Radio Network donates $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, even more. It will not take us very long to co-create a superstation computer setup that will guarantee us live airtime. We are ready to expand. We've already expanded with the Thrive Evolutionary Consciousness magazine. We are ready to expand even more, and we invite you and celebrate you co-creating with us. I've set up a special page at awakenedradio.net. Look up at the top where it says radio station support. You can make a one-time love gift donation, or you can set up a recurring monthly payment that will come out of whatever account you set up the same day every month. However you help us, you are appreciated. And if you'd like to send a check, a cashier's check, money order to the station, that information is at awakenedradio.net. Thank you so much for realizing that survival energy principles are practiced here at Awakened Radio. That we are Awakened Radio, and together we create a new reality. I love you. Peace.
Welcome back to Evolutionary Women Radio, where authentic feminine power is making a difference in the world. Thank you for joining and listening. This is your host, Pernilla Little-Rose, and this show is brought to you by Women Standing for Love. Welcome back. Yes, welcome back, everyone. This is Evolutionary Women Radio Show with your host, Pernilla Little-Rose, and this is brought to you by Women Standing for Love. And that is what we are all about. Women standing for love. And for all the men who are listening in, it is certainly men standing for love too. It's all of us standing for love. And realizing that we already are that love makes it so much easier, because there's nothing to achieve. There's nothing to get. It's just learning to go to this place and not get sidetracked by all the thoughts that want you to believe that you are something else. You may have heard this quote by Rumi, which is one of my favorite quotes. I have many favorite quotes by Rumi, but this is definitely one of them, where he says, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers inside yourself that you have built against it." You see, there's nothing to seek for. It's more a matter of removing or dissolving the barriers, the beliefs, the beliefs that we have taken on that seem to be more true, but they're not. So according to Rumi, we need to find We need to seek and find those barriers. And, when I suggest to you to just say, I am love, and see what comes up, if you just find that this is totally cool and you enjoy that expression and speaking the words and you can feel it inside, I congratulate you, because then you are just allowing it to flow. But if you have any kind of resistances or doubts or any thoughts coming up around it that say otherwise, those are the barriers that Rumi talks about. That's it. So by saying, I am love, or if you feel brave enough today or some other day to share here on the show or on my Facebook page or wherever you want to, maybe just with your friends, somewhere where it feels more safe, because this is pretty bold to do it on a radio station, I understand. But if you can just share it with somebody and then just see what comes up, and then you can allow those barriers to be seen, because until they're coming up to the surface and becoming conscious, they will run you unconsciously. And what happens then is that you hold this love back. You might express the love, and I actually don't doubt that probably everybody who's listening in today is expressing your love in many beautiful ways. I don't doubt that for a second. But can you allow that door to be open all the time, and maybe open up more and more, so that the beautiful love that you are, or light, you can call it light too. Sometimes you might experience it just as a light, an energy of light or love, that it just kind of can come out. It just moves out from you, and then it touches the outer world. So you make yourself an outlet for the love that you are by owning it, by recognizing it, by acknowledging it, by being it. A teacher that I was, the same teacher very long that I was with many years ago, he used to say, what you acknowledge, you get. What you don't acknowledge, you don't get. So you can see, are you acknowledging that you are love? And then you might coincidentally, quote unquote, get more love, because you are it. So you just allow the love to flow through you and as you. But if you don't acknowledge love, you don't get it. And that's the whole trick. Like, if you don't acknowledge that you are love, and if you don't bring that love to yourself, to areas in your life where you have been denying it, you are not getting the love that you want, because that's what you are. So instead, you will go out into the world and look for it. And sometimes we do silly things to get love, right? We steal, we cheat, we manipulate, we withhold things, we don't say the whole truth, we don't reveal all of who we are, because we're afraid that we are not going to get the love that we so desperately want, because we are denying ourselves love. It always comes back to the same. When I had one of my first big awakenings about 30 years ago, and I realized that I am love, and I was walking around for several months, I think 2 or 3 months, I was walking around in this state of love, realizing that I was love. It was not even a realizing. It was like, oh, aha, I am love. It was just, I was just love, and there was just love, and I didn't have much choice than to just be love, because that's all I knew for those months. So, you know, when those awakening experiences happen to you, it's as if it's being given, right? It felt like I was given a gift that I hadn't even asked for. I was meditating, and I started, really opening up to the divine and just being open to receiving and to knowing, and thy will be done. That was part of my prayer too. And then suddenly it just opened up, and I just was being flooded with this love, and it just filled everything in me. And I really walked around as love for several months until something happened in life and things changed around pretty dramatically. But I have never forgotten that. It really shifted something in me. It shifted something in my perception, in my consciousness. And it took me many, many years to really bring that into all the areas that I had been denying love. So what it comes down to is that we are love, but we deny ourselves love. Therefore, we don't experience love. We experience the lack of love because we deny ourselves love. And that's again why I say that's why we go out into the world hoping to find somebody who will love us. And if they don't, we get upset because we want to be loved. But it has to start with ourselves. And it's not because it's not like something that is not attainable. It's because, remember, you are love. You just forgot that you are love. So I want to invite you to just maybe find one area in your life, in yourself, a part of yourself that you have been trying to get rid of. A part of yourself that you have been denying love. See if you can find a place. I'm sure we can all find at least one area, one part of ourselves that we are denying love, that we want to get rid of more than anything. It can be an emotional part. It can be a part of us that's just really unhappy, that is depressed, that is sad, that's lonely, that's angry, that's really scared, that's ashamed, guilty. All these feelings that we don't like and we just want to get rid of. Those are areas in ourselves that we are denying love. By doing that, we cut off the flow of love that we are. So if there is one little area in your life that you can see right now, or maybe a big area, that you know that you're denying love, why don't you just do your best this moment to just allow that part to be here. And notice what happens to that part when you are not trying to get rid of it, but you include it, you allow it to be here along with everything else. Sometimes it can be a physical expression, a physical pain or disease or something. And I've had that myself because I've been going through a pretty heavy detoxification for quite a while, and it's been bringing up a lot of discomfort in the body at times, to the point where it's like, oh, I just feel tired or toxic. It doesn't always feel good. It feels good to do this cleanse, but it's not always comfortable. So what I'm learning in this here is like when there is an area that is acting up or that feels uncomfortable, I just keep reminding myself. When I remember, there are times when I forget, like all of us. But luckily, I do remember more and more and more. So then I can just love this part. Let's say, for instance, the last few days I've had some headache because of the detoxing, I think. So I just love my headache. I just hold that headache and I just say, I love you. I love you. Because in that, I bring the love that I am to a part that doesn't feel loved. Because in reality, let's face it, I would rather be rid of that headache. I don't really want it, but it is here. And by me trying to get rid of it, I cut off the blood flow, the love, the light, the healing expression, the healing power. I cut all that off from this part that really needs it more than anything. So instead, I'm just saying, I love you. I love you. And it's remarkable because almost instantly something starts relaxing. And I feel happier because love is flowing. The love that I am is flowing again. And then this part that felt contracted starts opening up. So the pain actually often lessens when I do that. So it's creating a space for these parts that we really want to get rid of. And you can think if there's any part of yourself, and just try it right now. Is there an emotional part or a physical part or some kind of a situation? Just see what happens if you just take a breath into that area. And then just say, I love you. I love you. And just see what happens. Even though I may keep speaking here, because it is a radio show, I would like to make it a silent hour once in a while, but I don't think that will work. So I will keep speaking a little bit, but I want to invite you to just say that. If there's any part of you that's really hurting, you can put your hands on it. Like with my headache, I can put my hands there. And I can say, I love you. So if you have a bellyache or a neck ache, whatever it is, say, I love you. Put your hand there. And just see what happens. Maybe you won't experience a whole lot, but maybe you will. Sometimes there can be tears just from relief, like, oh wow, look how hard I've been to myself. And it's that hardness, that trying to get rid of something in ourselves that causes more tension, and it blocks the blood flow so that the healing can't take place the way it will naturally when we allow it. So here's just an invitation to just let yourself be the love that you are, and find an expression for it. Find an outlet for it. Find a way where you can let this love express itself. And it's perfectly okay if you start with yourself. I'm not saying you need to go out and love the whole world and make a big difference in the world and, rescue the world or whatever it is. Like, a lot of us have that feeling we need to go out there and do something. And I think it's great if we're motivated to, but if it's done from a place of lack, because we're not loving ourselves, we're not complete and fulfilled within ourselves, we're moving into the world from a place of lack, trying to fix it. You see, so it's that same thing. We're trying to fix something that's missing inside of us because we're denying it by going out into the world to get it or to create it out there. We need to have all of ourselves on board first. So let's take a breath together. I always like to just slow down, take a breath, and just see if there's any area inside of you that you have been denying the love that you are. And notice what happens when you are willing and brave enough to say to that part of yourself, I love you. I am love. That's why I can love these parts of myself. It's your divine nature, it's your divine essence that is love. And by you being willing to love something inside of you that you have been denying love, this is it's so simple, but it's so important. By you allowing the love that you are to flow to an area where you have denied love, you open up a portal. You become an open vessel for the divine. And the more you let yourself be filled up from the inside out by bringing love to all the areas where you have been denying love, then eventually this love will start overflowing, because you're just so full, you're full of yourself. You're basically full of yourself, capital S. You're full of love, that it will flow over. And that's what happened when I had this experience many, many years ago, where I was just completely filled with love, and it was just this fountain, and it was just flowing over, and people could feel it. There were some people, they just wanted to be close to me because they could feel what was happening. So it just flows out, and the more we can become that for ourselves, the more we have an impact on the world. It really is that simple. And the thing is, when we feel full from the inside out, and this love starts spilling over, that is when you start moving into the world, making a difference. Naturally, the spilling over, if you follow the love and how it's spilling over, you just follow it, and you'll get inspiration, you'll get ideas about how to do it, and you just follow that. And it can be anything. It can be something in your family, it can be something in your community, it can be anything, and you won't know until you know, until it just starts spilling over. So first we just own the fact that we are love, and then we're willing to let this love fill up the areas that we have denied love. And you know, when I talk about that, love is all there is, it's all love. I know when we look out into the world, it doesn't always look like that, by far actually. But in order for me to understand that myself years ago, I started realizing that it's conscious and unconscious love. And the unconscious love are the areas where conscious love is denied. You see that? So by you denying any part of you, any part of yourself that's hurting, if you deny to give that love, you're denying conscious love to go into an area where it's unconscious love. It's all love. It just needs to be made conscious. And there's really nobody better than you who can do that, because you are the one holding it back. And I can speak about myself too, because I've done plenty of it. I'm the one holding the love back. So who better than me bringing that love there? In that, we actually become beautiful instruments and outlets for the divine. And I want to just finish today with a little story that I wrote in my book called Imagine Being Kind to Yourself. It's the ending of the book. Here it goes like this. A man moved to a new town. He took up residence in an old house where the garden had been totally neglected for a long time. After he moved in, he spent hours each day preparing the soil and then planting new flowers and trees. After months of work, the garden turned into a beautiful sanctuary and people walking by admired its beauty. One day the pastor of the local church came by and praised the beauty of the garden. He said, "We must praise God for bringing about such beauty and bounty. This could never have happened without the hands of God." The man agreed that indeed this was the work of God, and he was praising God for it, and that he was grateful to be surrounded by such beauty. And then he added, "But you should have seen it before I moved here, when God was doing it all on her own." And that's basically what I'm trying to say here. It's, yes, we are love. We are divine expressions of love, but we are the ones who have to make it conscious by bringing that love to all the areas in our life where we have not been loving ourselves, and then let it spill out to the world. I hope that is helpful, and I hope that gives you the courage to start acknowledging and owning the fact that you are love. You are made of love. You are love incarnate. And the best way to let that flow into your life, as your life, is by bringing that love to your life where you have been denying it. And I think another wonderful way is to start sharing the stories of love where you are expressing love, to share that in places where it feels safe and supportive. That's a wonderful way to start letting it flow to every area that it's needed. And you know, you are the only one who can do that. Nobody can do it for you, and nobody can do it for me. We are the ones who need to do that. So we have to be brave, and we have to be willing. Find a safe space, maybe where there's other people who are willing to do the same. Of course, if you live in the Bay Area here, I would invite you to come to our next Women Standing for Love gathering, where we do these things. We share, where are we bringing love to the world? So it's safe, and we are supporting each other in doing so. So I hope you will check out my one of my websites. You can either go to lilarose.com and read more about what I do. If you need help to connect with that love in yourself, you're always welcome to sign up for a free discovery session with me, and then we can find out where you might be blocking yourself, and I'm happy to help you find out how we can move beyond that, so you can start becoming an expression of the love that you already are. And you can also go to Women Standing for Love and find out about the next gathering if you want to come, or if you want to go to the Facebook page and share a little bit about yourself there. I would love to hear from you. That is womenstandingforlove.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can go to my website, and you will find out how to connect with me there. So, my friends, it's been wonderful to be with you. Let's take one more last breath together, where we just say the words, I am love. And see if you can just feel that. At least be open to the possibility. I am love. Thank you so much, my friends. It's been wonderful to be here with you. I love sharing this message of love, and I would love to hear from you so you can share your message of love with me. We'll be back here next week. I wish you a beautiful day and look forward to spending more time with you next week. Many blessings.